Hello. I thought I'd do an anxiety vlog. I hadn't done one in a while and heard some people were commenting that they like them, so I thought, hey, why not do it? Everyone's going through bucket loads of anxiety right now, so let's talk about it for some reason. Um, yeah, because everyone's dealing with either social, informal, or whether they're trying to go out and be social with friends, non-social. Everyone's dealing with a heck of a lot right now. Mine is more to do with I don't not having friends, but at the same time not knowing how to gain them, um, through action and such. It sounds that was a weird way of putting it. I'm not great at introductions and such with people, so it kind of I've been told it makes me into a very awkward person with people. And unfortunately, that you don't see that yourself. A lot of these anxiety habits is you're performing habits out of natural act because it's so natural to you. You don't see that you're that way in front of another person. So it's really helpful to get when you do get to talking to someone who it's like, oh, I understand that this is how you are. It's like they can tell you what's going on, like in their eyes, how other people are seeing it, and they can informally help you. So if you so it's helpful to find one person who can tell you your habits. Maybe it's your family, maybe it's someone you just gained by coincidence at work or outside at the park. Anyways, because family might be too. Your family might have a different just a normal look of you, or maybe you're a little bit of an outsider in there. Either way, just grabbing someone who has those type of normal social cues, especially if they're very aware of other people. So yeah, that was a bit of a ramble, but you get what I'm saying. Um, yeah, so understanding how you uh, and why those actions are kind of keeping people at a distance, at least for the people who struggle with being, I guess, normalized around other people enough to create friends. I'm doing a very great job at explaining wording this. um, yeah, not yeah. I'm a pretty socially aware person, so I see other people's actions, but I can't see my own, essentially, and it helps have a outside perspective. And if you can get a friend who's an outside perspective, that's even better. So yeah, so I have to learn. So I'm learning myself on how to not to be so weird and such, and what actions people are looking at me and saying and calling out. And I don't know, that might just be helpful. It's been helpful for me because I consider myself I was considering myself until that point to pretty normal, but it helps because now you know where the heck you have to. Now you know where all your groundwork needs to go. Um, so yeah, understanding social cues has been a really bad struggle considering. Well, you grow up, people growing up in different situations, different families, different households. So everyone's growing up with a different system of normalcy. And so until you understand how one person's brain works from their system of normalcy, you're not gonna know why. For at least the more some of the super anxious people, or some of the serious awkward people that you're trying to get to know, you're not gonna know why they're acting that way, and it's gonna be really weird to you. And so under having the awareness of different systems of normalcy, or that people get raised in different ways. Some people don't have a certain parent, or don't have siblings growing up, so they're not going to understand. Maybe a guy who was raised with four or five brothers versus a boy who was raised with two sisters and such. They're not going to have the same mentality. Um, so understanding those type of things. So when you're dealing with people, it's good to have the perspective of getting to know them slowly, at least the people you're wanting to know. And so, of course, there's also the thing of not judging a book by its cover, but I was just trying to I'm just trying to make it worse. And, just trying to word it way worse. Because why not? Things aren't complicated enough. Why not have bad wording? Let's add that to the mix. I'm sorry. Yeah. But understanding that, getting that perspective, and not getting so irritated when people don't follow under your normalcy. And that's been a very big struggle for me, because I'm like, why doesn't this person act this way? It's so, I guess you could say, logical, or in my mind it's so straightforward and creates less problems in the way they're acting. It's just not normal for them. Why it's not? You have to learn about the person to learn why mentally this way doesn't function, isn't their first thought. So that's been a struggle for me lately with a lot of different people, and I'm someone who wants to deal with anxieties as they come, and when I can't deal with something which is horrible when it comes to people, when you can't deal with something right away, it weighs on your mind. It's like an anchor in the ocean that doesn't get pulled up until, and just keeps dragging and such. You're unable, but you can't pull it up until you get the problem through and through solved. And the issue is you're not making any progress forward, or you're making very slow progress forward. So either you gotta break off the problem, or you gotta solve the problem. So that, and a lot of people don't like solving their own problems, which is a huge issue, or they will overly complicate things instead of solving things. And for some reason, that's how it works in their minds. And just as a matter of who do you actually have, for at least the one thing I've had to work on is like, who do you actually want? Who is really that important enough to keep around in your life, at least for where you are in your life. It's not so much of throwing people away as it is about finding out who really adds value to yourself and your mental state, your life and such, because those are the ones you should keep around. Not everyone is going to add what you wish they would add into your life. And unfortunately, sometimes that's the people you want. But it could be family, friends, anything, relationships, anywhere. So yeah, trying to overcomplicate that. Whether you gotta find out you gotta cut someone off, or you gotta find out if you can work through an issue. So, but a lot of it comes from understanding where people's minds are, and how did you grow up into this understanding? Why does this no way not work for you? So that's what's been a big complication for me. When you have your own awareness, when you have I'm trying to not make it sound so matrixy, but for the nerds and stuff, maybe it does sound great. or horrible, I don't know. So yeah, trying to understand that about people, and not being so harsh with your mental criticism until you get to know them that well. So that's been a big struggle, because patience-wise has been a huge struggle for me. It's still a big struggle for me, being patient, especially with people, because you want things just done. Like, you always want to get issues removed and such. It's like, why not? And then they don't go along with the plan or an idea. It's kind of weighs on you. Yeah. So those are things. What did I ramble on? Probably. Sooner or later, these things will come through straightforward. It's just not going to happen in this video. So those type of things are definitely a way on, but you can't control how anyone, yeah, you just can't control anyone else but yourself. And you can't have the expectation that no one's going to fail you. You can just have the expectation that you don't fail you. Yeah. It sounds very... I don't know whether it sounds cynical to other people or not. It's just a matter of trying to not put too much value on other people and put more value on your own your own health, your own mental health. When you put too much value on the other people and wanting to have better friendships or good relationships and such, and then your value to them outweighs your own value to your own mental health or just health in general, you got a problem. Yeah, it has to do with a lot of it's people who like to please like people pleasing. A lot of it's just wanting to be a naturally good person but not knowing how to be a good person, which seems to be a huge issue nowadays. People wanting to help other people but then not helping themselves, and their relationships and their lives falling apart because they're trying to do nice things outside. And I grew up in a household full of that, and it really collapses your life because you try to please outwardly but you don't help anything inwardly. Then those people outwardly take advantage, can at least. But you have to eat before you can serve people. If you don't have the food, then you're kind of dying while you're serving other people who may not even be using that food for the right reason. Like, I don't know what. Maybe that wasn't the right analogy. Not using the food for the right reason. Or who might be eating that food and then tainting their body in another way. That could have came out a lot clearer. It just didn't. Anyways, yeah. So I hope that came across pretty clearly. But that's one of the biggest anxieties I've been facing, and I know a lot of other people have been facing that too. At least when it comes to just people and places and friendships and such that you're wanting to fix or wanting to recreate or wanting to create. Yeah. And not undervaluing yourself, taking care of yourself, but not throwing away at other people and throwing them under the bus because they don't have the same reactions or thought processes that you do. So, yeah, I'm sure you could. There's a very clear quote on this whole thing, but that's not so much fun. Sometimes horribly blanded ramble banter is so much more pleasing. Probably not. Okay, I think I'll end it there until somebody who, for some reason, has an earworm for banter wants a part 2. Alright. The message there was, I like this shirt.